Greetings, classmates and Professor Elkins. I'm Joe McCombs. I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself. I have a background in retail management and finance. I spent 12 years in management with Winn-Dixie. I spent 12 years as a finance director in the automotive industry. I also spent 4 years as a loan officer originating mortgages. I was born here in Louisville, Kentucky. And my current employment is an office manager for the Auerbach School of Occupational Therapy. And in my role, I advise current and incoming students. I work with faculty, and I oversee our daily business operations. In 2 weeks, I'll graduate with a major of business communications and a minor of business administrations. It's exciting to earn a bachelor's degree. I'm much looking forward to it. This is my first MSBC class. I'm in the organizational leadership track, and this as well is very exciting, and I look forward to the journey ahead. Before I talk about the characteristics, I did take the personality assessment, and my results were an INTJ, which says that I have a slight preference of introversion over extroversion, have a moderate preference of intuition over sensing, have a slight preference of thinking over feeling, and a strong preference of judging over perceiving, which means that I'm structured, organized, self-disciplined, and decisive. Before I go in detail of the characteristics, I also looked at the course self-evaluations and wanted to see a reflection of myself and my own opinion. In regards to self-esteem, like the value we place on ourselves, that I'm confident and have a can-do attitude, but I'm not arrogant. In self-efficacy, I feel like there's a sense that we can accomplish meaningful feats, and that also that I work well under pressure when it comes to meeting deadlines and juggling a lot of things at one time. Also, I felt that as far as emotional stability, high emotional stability, and I do not suffer excessive mood swings, meaning that I try to stay pretty even keel. Try not to get too high, try not to get too low. Looking at the locus of control, I feel like that I believe we exercise control of certain aspects of our life. I absolutely believe that we can't do anything about what we've done in the past, but what we can do is something about our actions in the future. Of the characteristics, there's two that I've definitely experienced and can relate to, and I feel like are very much me. As I mentioned earlier, I was a finance director in the automotive industry, so I experienced the extrinsic success. In that role, I made a lot of money. But money can't buy you happiness. What I mean is, although I was making a sizable salary, I was pretty miserable. I was working nights, weekends, holidays, and really didn't have much of a quality of life. So I find myself, as I'm getting older, learning that more and more satisfaction with a job is very relevant. As I mentioned, I'm a staff member here at Spalding University, and it's a wonderful place to work. The culture is great. The environment is vibrant, and it's very exciting to see how the campus and the university evolved just in the few years since I've been there, and the new things that continually occur with this university. And another characteristic that I believe that definitely is me is that I have a proactive personality. I feel like in my mind that I identify opportunities and I act upon them. Meaning that if I see something that needs to be addressed, I'm not just going to take a wait and see what happens attitude or ignore it. I'm going to try to address the situation and come up with a solution and make it a better for all. And in doing so, I feel like this is demonstrating a leadership and taking the initiative. However, you must establish quality relationships with your colleagues. You can have the greatest ideal, you can be the smartest person, you can be the hardest worker, But if you don't have quality relationships with your colleagues, if you present someone an ideal or thought, a plan of action to someone else, anyone else, they're not going to listen to you. So it's vital that you be cognizant of what you say, how you say it, and be mindful of the way you present yourself at all times, especially in the workplace. Lastly, here I've got innovation promotes career satisfaction. And when you can troubleshoot, or when you can problem solve, and when you can take a situation that's not working so well, and you can put some thought into it and rejuvenize it and see a result that is far better than where it originated from, it's very gratifying. Another characteristic that I feel is definitely in my repertoire, if you would, is that I have optimism. In the reading we found out that those that have optimism, they find that problems are only temporary. I feel that much so to be the case with myself. If there is a circumstance and a bad day or a bad situation, and things don't work out the way you want, sure, I'm going to be upset or frustrated or annoyed or what have you. But the thing is, you got to move on and go past it, and that is the ability to overcome adverse situations. And to be able to do so, you have to have a positive mindset, and that psychology of that positive mindset that leads to resilience. And that goes right alongside with a good attitude allows for perseverance. Also, I mentioned to you earlier that I was a loan originator, a mortgage loan officer in 2008 when the sub-housing crisis catastrophe hit. There was thousands upon thousands of people losing their job, and I was one of them. It was tough. It was difficult. But the only thing I knew how to do was to continue on and pick myself up and have that mindset that some way, somehow, things were going to work out. And that's what I did. Lastly, in our assignment, we were asked to reiterate the importance of networking. And what I can say about that is that the only way to be effective with networking is to take an interest in others and their business. Be genuine, sincere. Ask them what they do and what it means and who they work with and why it's important to them. When I was originating mortgages, when interest rates dropped in 2006, for me to generate new business, I had to go out and solicit with realtors and builders. And what I was promoting was myself, customer service, and closing loans in a timely manner. I would tell these realtors and these business builders, that if they had a client that needed to close a loan in 7 to 10 days, that I was their guy, and they need to come to me, and then I would make that happen. And when that occurs, the transaction is complete. The property's sold, and they've moved on, and they've earned a commission. So that worked well, and I picked up some business from that. Neighbors and friends, they're a great place to network. Let them know what you do and what services you provide. But the number one networking source is social media. Lots of people are on Facebook. Lots of businesses are on Facebook. But I can tell you of 2 people that I know. One's an insurance salesperson, and one is a realtor. And their business not only doubled, but it tripled by them utilizing social media and Facebook and staying active and working their contacts. Well, I wish that each and every one of you have a happy Memorial Day, and I look forward to our journey together. Take care.